Hey, welcome back to Overhead Athletics. Dr. Max Wardell here. We're gonna go through 4 ways you can increase your pitching velocity. One of the biggest questions we get is how do we increase pitching velocity? And I wanted to show you 4 different drills or applications that you can utilize to increase your throwing speed. Now, what we've seen here at the Overhead Athletic Institute through polling our athletes is the average that a high school and middle school athlete throws hard is about once every 14 days. Now, I like to equate that to a sprinter. If your goal is to sprint in the Olympics, sprint as fast as possible, but you only sprint as fast as possible once every 2 weeks, you're probably not gonna run very fast, and you're definitely not gonna increase your speed in the way that you wanna do it. We also find that a lot of these athletes aren't on a structured program. We have put together structured programs on our website, but we wanted to put together some things that you could add into an already structured program to increase your velocity. There's 4 drills that we're going to show in this video. And the key thing with throwing faster, increasing your velocity, is working at a high intensity, a very high intensity. And we've seen through research in strength and conditioning, by trying to move fast, even if you don't move any faster, but just trying to move as fast as possible, you are going to get more strength gains and more speed gains than if you don't try to move as fast. So a good analogy here is you try to throw at 90% and you throw 84, but when you throw 100% all out, you also throw 84. You're gonna get more benefit from going all out and throwing 84 long term in terms of your velocity than you will if you just throw 84 at 90%. Because you're trying to throw faster. So there's a psychological component, but there's also a neurological component in trying to recruit as many of these motor units, as many of these contractile elements as possible. And so the goal here with all 4 of these is to try to throw as fast as possible. Now, what we've also done, as you'll see here in drill 1, our internal rotation apex, where we're starting from a static position where you're loaded into your hip and you're trying to throw as fast as you possibly can. What you see in this drill is that you're moving from a static position where you're already preloaded into your hip. Your arm is in the correct position, and now you're trying to initiate velocity from that position. And by doing that, you're teaching your body what position it's supposed to be in when you recruit velocity, and you're training yourself to move faster from there. In addition, these static positions where you're moving fast from a really static position teach your body how to take up slack in the tissue. The same way as if we have a skier and we have a rope and there's slack in that rope. At rest, there's slack in our muscles and tendons. We want to take up that slack quicker so we can pull on the bones faster. So when you take up slack in the ski rope, you can immediately pull the skier. So we want to take up slack. How do we do that? We teach ourselves to move from a pre or static position as fast as possible without any additional load. And what I mean by that is a cocking or a reaching back or a twisting motion, a loading motion. We eliminate that and go as fast as possible from that position. Now, what we can do after we do some of that is we can start to incorporate what we call run and gun throw, where now we're getting a little bit of a crow hop into the throw and we're adding momentum. So these work on the opposite spectrum, the opposite side of the spectrum from our pre-initiated or static position throw. Here, we're trying to generate momentum to the target and generate as much speed as we possibly can. These drills help us load into our back leg. Once again, you have to attempt to throw as fast as possible. We recommend that our athletes throw as fast as they possibly can in the off season, a minimum of once a week, often twice a week. And then we have to dose properly. We might have 1 longer session in a week where they throw more, or we may have 2 shorter sessions in the week where they throw at a high intensity. Then we can go into a giddy up drill, which giddy up drill is basically a staggered stance where it's simply a step behind and go. The step behind allows you to load your hips properly and also get some momentum to the target, but you still have to generate a lot by pushing into the ground and pushing off. The key here is, once again, to throw as fast as you possibly can. We're pre-positioning the pelvis by utilizing a step behind to get us closed from the target for a longer period of time and closed earlier. Then we can, from there, move into another one of the drills that we often use with our athletes, which is called a turn and burn throw. A turn and burn throw is a back pedal throw where you have to turn towards the target. This is going to allow you to generate momentum to the target, but really focus on controlling the rotational or angular forces of the throw. So you have to control inertia and stabilize through your posture as you throw and move with more rotational energy. As opposed to the run and gun where you have more linear energy moving towards the target. This one, you're backpedaling and you have to turn fast, which means I have to rotate my body at a high rate of speed. All of these are benefited by utilizing a radar gun at times to capture the velocity so you can track your progress over time. Like we said, we like to implement these throughout a training program at least once a week in some capacity. If you do it once a week, you want higher reps, 30, 40, maybe 50 throws when you build up to it. If you do it more than once, maybe 25 or 30 throws at a high intensity. And you want to build up to that high intensity with a proper warm-up. You can check out our videos on warm-up elsewhere on the channel. If you guys like these drills and you are going to utilize them in your practice, or you already are, let us know how they're going in the comment section below, and we will see you guys in the next video.